Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome again to my channel. Today we are going to discuss the new topic of class 10 biology, chapter 13. The topic is about the composition of skeleton. In previous lecture, we have studied about the skeleton in very detail. So first you have to watch that video and then switch to this video in order to accomplish the knowledge, right? So the topic is skeletal system, so we have to recall the memory what we have studied in a previous lecture. We have studied the skeletal system, we have studied the skeleton, their types and their role. So the skeleton is basically as the framework of hard articulated structures that provide physical support to the body, attachment for the skeletal muscles and protection for the bodies of animals. Like other vertebrates, the human skeleton is on the inside of the body and is known as endoskeleton, as the word endo means inside and the skeleton is the structure of bone, right? So in a living body, the skeleton is very much alive. So the basic component of the skeleton is bone and cartilage. So bone and cartilage are basically made up of living cells, and they are also having nerves and the blood vessels in them, and they grow and have the ability to repair themselves, right? So today we're gonna discuss the two basic component of the skeleton, the cartilage and the bone, right? So the overall the human skeleton is made up of bony framework, but in certain parts this framework is supplemented by the cartilage. So in infant, or we can say that during the growth there is production of the cartilage, but with the passage of time there is deposition of salts like calcium and phosphate, or we can say that calcium phosphate, then the cartilage become changed into the bone, the harder structure, right? So both the cartilage and bones are the connective tissues. Both are made up of the collagen fibers, right? So here we have the cartilage. So cartilage is a dense clear blue white connective tissue. It is less strong than bones. It is flexible in nature. It is softer in nature. It is soft and flexible in nature. So what are the cells of the cartilage? Cartilage are basically made up of the cells which is known as chondrocytes. Chondro word is used for the cartilage and cyte word is used for the cell, right? So here we have the matrix in which these cells locate, which is known as the matrix, and it is basically made up of the collagen fibers. And look at this diagram here. I have tried to show the cartilage. Here we have the matrix, the gel-like substance, right? The ground substance, amorphous gel-like substance, which is present in this extracellular space, right? So this ground substance is basically made up of the collagen fibers, and which are arranged in a very parallel matter, in a parallel arrangement, in a parallel manner, right? The cells of this cartilage are known as chondrocytes. Here I have shown this, the red part. These are known as chondrocytes, and these are located in a space filled cavity, or in a space cavity, right? So this cavity is known as lacunae or lacuna, right? So these are also present in this ground substance within the space. So mean the chondrocytes, right? These are present in the ground substance within the space. So these red part shown the chondrocytes. Chondrocytes are located in the lacuna, and this is then settled in this matrix, and this matrix is made up of collagen fibers, right? So the flexibility of the cartilage depends upon the number of chondrocytes, right? If there is more number of chondrocytes in a cartilage, it means the cartilage is more flexible, right? If there is less number of cartilage, it means the cartilage is less flexible. So the flexibility, we can say that the flexibility of cartilage is directly proportional to the number of chondrocytes, right? Now moving toward the next point, here we have cartilage have no blood vessels at all. There is no artery and vein. There is no circulation of blood, right? In embryonic life, the skeleton is basically made up of the cartilage, and with the passage of time, or we can say that in adult, there is a deposition of the calcium phosphate, and the cartilage become converted into bone. And another point we have, there is no bone marrow as well. Cartilage is without the bone marrow. So, the example is ear pinna, nose, trachea, ends of the jointed bones. For example, we have the two bones, right? For example, here we have one bone, right? And here we have another bone. These two bones are jointed at a point we know as joint, right? So there is a cartilage at the ends of these bones just to reduce the friction, right? So now moving toward the next topic, here we have the type of the cartilage. So we have classified the cartilage into three basic types: hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage, and fibrous cartilage. So as the word hyaline means clear, transparent in color. So this type of cartilage is strong and flexible. They contain the collagen fibers. This type of cartilage is located in nose and larynx. So the cell, the chondrocyte which is present in the hyaline cartilage, they are very close together, and there is less number of ground substance, right? In elastic cartilage, as the word indicate, it is more elastic. So the elasticity is basically due to the presence of elastic fibers along with the collagen fibers. So this type of cartilage is strong and flexible, and along with the collagen fiber, there is elastic fibers as well, which give more elasticity to this type of cartilage. So the example is epiglottis and ear pinna. This type of cartilage is present in epiglottis, right? Epiglottis mean, epi mean above, and glottis is the part of larynx, right? So it is just like a flap which covers the larynx, right? Now it contains less number of cells, as I have shown. Look at the diagram. Here I have drawn the more cell. Here I have shown few cells, right? Less number of cells. If there is a less number of cells, there would be more ground substance, right? So there would be more place, there would be more space for elastic and collagen fibers. Now the next one we have the fibrous cartilage, right? Here we have the fibrous, like the arrangement of the collagen and elastic fibers, they are in knitted form, right, which give more strength to this type of cartilage. They are very tough in nature, they are less flexible, and they contain more collagen fibers, right, as compared to the elastic and hyaline cartilage. They contain more collagen fibers. The example is intervertebral disc, right? Intervertebral disc mean, there we have, for example, here we have this vertebral column, right? So vertebral column is basically made up of 33 vertebrae. So between these vertebrae we have the this type of cartilage, right? So here we have least number of cells, right? So least number of cell, it means there would be more ground substance as compared to the hyaline and elastic cartilage, right? Look at this diagram. This is the hyaline cartilage. So the hyaline cartilage is located here at the end of the long bones. Here we have the two long bone, right, bones, and it is present at the end of the two bones, right? This darker portion, this is known as hyaline cartilage. Look at the next diagram. Here we have the fibrous cartilage. So fibrous cartilage is present in intervertebral disc. For example, look at this. This is the vertebrae 1 and this is the vertebrae 2. So between the two vertebrae there is a fibrous cartilage. Here we have another diagram. So what type of cartilage these are? This is the cartilage of epiglottis, right? And this is the cartilage of larynx. And here we have the cartilage of trachea. Now you identify which type of cartilage these are. Like these are elastic, these are fibrous, or these are hyaline cartilage. So look at this. This is the trachea. So it means they are hyaline cartilage. This is the cartilage of larynx. It means it is hyaline cartilage. And this is the cartilage of epiglottis. So it means it is the elastic cartilage. Now moving toward the next topic, which is the bone, right? So bone is the hardest and most rigid part of the skeleton. It is also made up of connective tissues, right? So its basic function is in movement. They play important role in the movement of the body. Muscle pull or bonds to enable the movement. It gives shape, it gives support, protection to the body, organs, and it helps in the cell production like RBC, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. They also stores minerals as well, calcium and phosphate ions, right? So next, moving toward the structure of bone. The structure is more or less similar to the cartilage, but there is little bit difference between the cartilage and bone, right? So look at the structure. Here I have drawn the diagram. So this is the long bone. So the outer region of the bone is covered with the cartilage. Next to the cartilage, we have another part which is known as spongy. This is the inner part which is known as spongy bone, and this outer part is known as compact bone. This is known as compact because of the cells which are compactly arranged in it, right? Then inner to the compact bone, we have spongy bone, and in the spongy bone there is blood vessels, nerve cells, right? And as well as there is a bone marrow as well. So the spongy part of the bone contain the blood vessels and bone marrow as well. Now, like cartilage, as we have discussed in a little bit like in cartilage about the matrix and the cells. So same, bones also contain the matrix, right? And the bone also contain the collagen as we have studied in the cartilage. But it also contain minerals which is not present in the cartilage. So bones contain the mineral which is calcium and phosphate, right? So we know that the cartilage contain a single type of cell. But on the other hand, here in bone, we have three basic different type of cells. So here the mature bone cells are known as osteocytes. So here I have shown the red bone marrow which is present in the spongy part of the bone, and there is also another type of bone marrow which is known as yellow bone marrow. So you have to keep this in mind. Red bone marrow play important role in the cell production like RBCs, white blood cells and platelets, while the yellow bone marrow, they help in the fat, they form the fat, they help in the cartilage and bone production, right? So next we have the bone matrix as we have studied in the cartilage. So same, bones also contain the bone matrix, right? Again we have the lacuna. Inside the lacuna we have the bone cells, and the bone cells are known as osteocytes. And here we have the matrix in which there is collagen fiber along with the deposition of calcium phosphate. So these calcium phosphate give strength to the bone, right? So look at the bone cells. Here we have three basic type of cells which is present in the bone. The first one is osteocytes, which is known as mature bone cells, right? Another cells which is known as osteoblast. These are bone dissolving cells. These cells dissolve other bone cells, right? Another we have the osteoclast. These are bone forming cells, right? So along with these cells, along with this collagen fiber, along with this calcium phosphate, the matrix also contain, we can say that they also contain the nerve fiber and blood vessels as well, right? Okay ji. Now, the important point we must need to know that babies are born with the bone. Babies contain 300 bones, right? Babies are born with the bones about 300. They are soft bones. Some of these bones later fuse together so that the adult skeleton has about 206 bones. Hope you understand the topic. So today we have discussed about the structure of skeleton, the composition of skeleton, the cartilage and bone. Thank you for watching.